Hey guys, what's going on? Just doing a video here. I want to show you guys how to install Sear springs on a full-size 1911 and an officer size 1911. These have been cleared first. So just wanted to, I'm not going to break them down quite all the way. I'm not going to take out the Sear and the disconnector or anything like that. I think that's a little more than what's necessary for what I'm doing right now. 1 second, just need to grab some oil real fast. Forgot about that before I sat down. Okay. First off, I'll do the big one first. What I like to do is I just use a pin, push down on the thing here, turn the bushing to the side, let that pop out, just pull it out. And then you'll line up that notch right behind the slide catch notch. And just push this right out. And then the slide will come right off. And I don't need to take this apart anymore, so just set that to the side. Now, the next thing that I like to do is take off the thumb safety. And when everything's off, just grab this, kind of wiggle it. It's a little tough to get off. Watch out, there's this little spring here. This thing will kind of shoot out. So what I like to do is just put it real close to my shirt here, and then it kind of shoots out and just lands right there, so I don't lose it. Take that off, and then what I have to do on this one, this doesn't, actually, yeah, that comes out of there clean. And then slowly drop the hammer though. Don't let it freely drop when the slide's off. When it, I'll show you what happens. If you continuously let the hammer just smack against this part of the frame, you can crack the frame and cause damage, and that's not good at all. So you'll ruin your frame if you do that too much. So be careful. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is take out the mainspring housing. Let's see. Looks about the right size. And if you watched my gun tools video, you can see how I use duct tape as a bench block. Oops. Set that to the side. Slide that out, and here's the old Sear spring, and I'm going to replace it. I got a 5-pack of these here off Amazon, so I'm gonna I like to kind of compare and see what the shapes look like here before I don't know, some of these, the angles on the as you can see, like this one here is a little flatter than that one, so this maybe will be a little bit of an experiment. This here, yeah, this here was a Wilson Combat one, and I'm gonna go ahead and replace it. I think it's a little worn out now. Try this one. Put just a little bit of oil on this. So I've got a napkin to wipe my hands off with. Okay, so You'll pop, just put that right back in there like that. You'll see there's a little lip right there. There's a little notch right there. You just fit it in, play it right in. That seems to fit nice. Next thing you do, put this back in, your mainspring housing, slide that in, and then the hammer strut right there, lower that, kind of guide it into the top of your mainspring housing where it's supposed to go. And then this here can be a little bit of a trick. You just need to push down and get that so you can get the pin started. So that's started now. And then just take the rubber mallet, get in there at a good enough angle. Let me use the punch, even that out just a little bit. I'm kind of picky about that. I like the pins to be perfectly flush on that side. So real quick, I'm just going to test that works. Okay. Put this back in. Oops. Feels pretty good. And then the next thing you want to do is reassemble this part. Go ahead and put... crap, you gotta be kidding me. That little spring in there must have popped out with the... shit. Fuck, 1 minute, let me pause this and come back. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to find that spring. It's gotta be laying right next to the chair. Okay. That just took about 2 seconds. Sometimes that spring in there come out sort of easy. Pop that back in there. And then just put that back in. Put your thumb safety back in, line it up to that pin, and I don't know how some people do this, but see how that sticks out way far up under there and you can't get the thumb safety. So what I like to do is the back side of my knife works perfect. Put that right there, push in on it, and then cool. So that's good to go. Put the slide back on. Line up your notches. And then you'll want to, in the barrel, it's a little hard to see. I don't think I'll be able to show you on camera here. But that linking on your barrel, you want to line up with this hole here. Because that's what keeps your slide from flying off. Line that up. Cool. Just put that back in, push that back down. I like to twist it over just to where it catches on the edge, because if you can see, look at my thumb, that puts a big old indent circle on there. That thing's sharp. That thing really hurts my fingers to push down on. It's miserable. So I just use, I've got a bushing tool, but just use a pin or something just to push on that. Works good. And if that doesn't line up perfect, just rack it a couple times. It'll go in. So, cool. That's been replaced. Do just a couple tests here. Seems pretty good. Alright, 1 second. Got one little thing right here. Okay. You just need a, for the small officer size here, with the slide, you basically just need to, you need like a little paper clip type thing. Pull the slide back about that far. There's a little hole here. And this is if you want to take the recoil spring out, but it makes it a little easier to reassemble the gun. So let it stop right there. That will stop it in the perfect spot where it lines up your takedown notch. So you can take that right out, and good to go. And then same thing here. Oops. Can't get that out unless the hammer's back. That popped out. Perfect. Just testing to make sure the spring's in there still. Okay, yeah, spring stayed in that time. It's a little tricky to get out of there compared to the other one. Repeat this process. And one thing here is just so I know what parts are what, and that this is an old one, because I might not throw it away. I'm just going to mark it WC for Wilson Combat, just so I know it's my old one, and I don't get it mixed up. Just take that out. Basically the same process, it's just getting the slide off at the small one. Here's a little bit harder. So you'll do that. And then the problem here with this one is I don't know if I messed this up reassembling and I didn't get something lined up straight. But on this, these pieces like kind of rub together. It's just, see what I'm saying? It's not straight. So this one seems kind of fucked up. And I might have done something, I really don't know, but I would, I'd certainly rather not risk it, just in case. And on this one, real fast, what I'm going to do is I haven't had a chance, I'm going to actually take the Sear and disconnect out on this one. Because, as I mentioned in the other video, what happened was I just had a couple failures for the trigger to reset. And I think the what happened here is the little hole in here just got a little bit filled up with Duracoat. So I'm going to get the small, use this size punch. Just barely poke these out. This table's not level, everything rolls away on me. Pop out your Sear and disconnect. All those parts. What the fuck? Alright. And then, now that's out. New, I'm going to try to hold this upside down at an angle here, so when I file that out just a little bit, I don't, I think there's just a little bit of Duracoat that filled up this hole, and I just want to kind of clean it up just a little bit. Make sure the disconnector can flow real smoothly through there without getting caught on anything. Didn't really do much of anything there. out just a little bit. I think that should be good. Now this here will probably be the hardest part when you ever reassemble 1911. What you do to, you'll put, I like to use tweezers to hold this because it's really small and it's just, it truly, this is a bitch to put back together. These things don't line up very well, it's just hard to do. So you'll put it together just like this. You'll put your sear over the top of the disconnect just like that. And then I like to grab this part of the disconnector with the tweezers and then just reinsert it up into the gun like that. And as you can see, that flows in and out of there real smooth. And then just start this pin. And then it's just kind of a matter of shammying around, I guess, with this until it goes in the damn holes. That can't be in there, is it? Yeah, I thought so. Somebody else might be able to do this part easier than me. I always have trouble with it. Like, always. Went in kind of easy that time. Well, that's nice, huh? Alright, that seems pretty good. Just put just a little bit of oil in there. Let it kind of soak down into that hole. Get it into the sear a little bit. Dab that out of there. Alright, so that's back in. This pin here is kind of loose until you get things put back together and some spring tension on these parts. So just make sure you don't tip your gun to the side and let all the stuff just like fall out of it. So next thing is to put your hammer back in. And this part on this gun is easy because this is like a, I guess it's similar, most similar to the Series 70 setup, except for the external extractor that they have on those. But it's not got the Series 80 firing pin safety system in there where you've got those two tabs. And then in this gun right here, I took out those tabs and I replaced it with a part on Brownell's called it's called like a 1911 shim, and it's just a part in there. It's a non-moving part, but it fills that space up so you don't your sear and your disconnect don't slide side to side. And what that does is it fixes your trigger pull back to an old 1911 style, so you don't have that crappy Series 80 trigger pull. It's not really crappy, it's just not as good. Okay. And let me, before I get going too much here, let me just label this RIA, since it's a rock island. And I guess these ones here kind of look like they got about the nicest curve in the spring. Oops. I skipped a step here. I apply just a little bit of oil to this. Alright. Pop that right in there, just like the old one. Put your mainspring housing back in. And this one here, just do the same thing. Line up the strut. And this one here doesn't really, this thing doesn't stick out a little bit further. You know, everything fits just a little different between these. So you don't really need to put any pressure on that to get that pin in. That one goes in pretty straightforward. It's easy. So before you get too far, just cock the hammer back, make sure it goes. Oops. And cock it too far back before you get the parts in there. Okay. So that seems good. Just put that back in there. I don't know what I took that out for. Oh, shit, I don't know what I'm doing here. My bad. I'm skipping a step. I'm going to put the grip safety back on. Okay. Seem to have been running into a small little problem there. We're good. Back together. Put that back in. And then, let's see what I do with my knife here. Here it is. Alright, so that's in. Works off. Cool. Good stuff. This gun here, getting the hammer and that stuff on is just a little more finicky than the full-size one. I don't know exactly, it's just the way the parts fit together. Okay. Put this piece, start that like that. Okay. And then take the pressure off that, let that out, go forward, good to go. Alright, feels good. Try just a couple. Seems maybe just a little less tension on this than there was before. That kind of pops that back out. I'll just test this real quick. Okay, we're good. So, hopefully that helped some of you out a little bit. Just wanted to show you guys a quick mainspring housing replacement, or I'm sorry, not a mainspring housing, a Sear spring replacement on both of those, as well as just cleaning out that channel a little bit for the disconnect. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.